Hola, hola, hola. I bought a new mic. This mic is really worse than the one that I had, so sorry about any noise stuff. Hi, how are you? Are you doing okay? I haven't filmed a sit down in a while. I've been just like doing vlogs or whatever, and I've been like liking vlogs or whatever, but I hope you're okay. I've read the book and I'm very freaking disappointed, so I need a necklace or like a pearl necklace or something. Not that kind. I read a book. It's very hyped. I'm very disappointed. Let's talk about it. This book I've seen everywhere for I think the last 2 years. I've just seen it everywhere. It's been hyped. It's been hyped and forgotten and hyped again and forgotten again. It's been literally everywhere, and understandably so. The cover is very intriguing. The title is very, very, very interesting, very eye-catching. It's an interesting kind of book, so it's understandable. But I didn't expect it to be this way. I wanted, oh, whew, I did not expect it to be this fucking bad. Alright, so I've read How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackey. I forgot the name of the author. I don't have the physical copy, sorry. It's supposed to follow a girl who is in prison, and she's telling us her story about a lot of murders that she has committed. A lot of murders that she has committed, but her being charged with the murder she didn't commit. I read it. Well. So, starting the book, it didn't disappoint at first. I thought that it is a promising beginning, and it followed the title as, again, I thought it was a promising title. However, right out of the bat, the MC is a bit annoying. While not ostentatious herself, she still just goes out of her way to show us how much of an obtrusive person she is. She's still very pretentious. Like, she goes out of her way to show us that I'm not. But like, she is in her way of showing us that she's not. And in a very annoying way too. She's very hateful too. Like, there's this unnecessary hate. And it is hate towards mundane things. And what really, really annoyed me is that it all was wrapped up in a feminist rage type of packaging. She's just a hateful, unhappy person, and it's the author is trying to like give us the message that this is like the bell jar, or you know, this is like you're reading Sylvia Plath, you're reading Shirley Jackson, you're not reading Sylvia Plath and Shirley Jackson, you're reading a hateful, low-key misogynistic bitch. That being said, there is still an actual feminist aspect, a first-wave feminist aspect. And yeah, the little bits and pieces of the actual feminism that I got, I really liked. But that was just at first, and I'm talking like the first 3 chapters, my man. Whatever bits and pieces of actual first-wave feminism we got was powerful, and I could feel that, and I really, really liked that. Not only powerful, but inspiring and enraging. But that all gets overshadowed by unnecessary hatred. And I mean, she hates everything. She hates women so much for no reason. She hates women that have plastic surgery. She cannot for the life of her pass a woman that has special like lip fillers or something and not fucking comment on them. She's just like, she's one of those girls that have unnecessarily just let her live her life. I don't understand it. I can look at her body and tell that it was not God made, it was knife made. Okay, ma'am. She hates men that get tans. She looks at a man with a obvious fake tan, and she's just like, it's disgusting. I can see the line, like he got it from a bed, not the sun. Okay. That's unnecessary, but go off, I suppose. She hates people who just like a more flashy tinsel kind of style. Think Trisha Paytas kind of style. And I don't mean she's just like, it's not my style. That is not my style, all the glitter Y2K type of stuff. I don't like that style at all. But I would never be like, it's disgusting, it's hateful, it's disgustingly bad, it's ugly, it's telling me that you don't have any style. Like, it's just not my style. And she's the first reaction. That's how she is. For some reason, I don't know, she thinks like everything that she doesn't like is the worst thing that was ever created. I just don't like her. Mundane shit. She just mislikes mundane shit. I mean, bitch said, I'm gonna read you the quotes. He had a tan and was wearing loafers. Now, me personally, being a woman attracted to people, I don't like that. I don't like fake tans, and I'm not attracted to certain styles and loafers and stuff. I like tattoos and punk-looking bitches. I like bitches who look like they can kill a person. That's what I just like, and that is that, alright? And when I read that, I was like, yeah, ew, right? A tan and loafers. Alright, cool. And then she finished the quote by, "He likes the dire straits." And I was like, well, lady, that's why your mother was a desperate whore who didn't think twice about creating a full freaking human and left you in shrubs by the tender age of 13, you hateful c-. Why does she feel the need to hate on people's music taste? I like the Dire Straits, okay? Just honestly, after reading a little bit of her, she just seems to hate women. To be honest, every woman she meets that treats her with the decency of a normal conversation on a normal cigarette break, she's just like, she's stupid and I can't believe I'm giving her my time. Like, she would never have my time if I didn't like need something from her. She's so stupid and I hate the fact that she's talking to me. Bitch, the fuck do you think you are? As if because she went through the trauma that she went through, she has this false elevated sense of self. That is pure Delulu, my love. Now, I see what the author wanted to achieve with this character. I see that they tried to achieve the sort of created, inherently created misogyny after she had, a bad childhood. Her mother was someone that got played and she ended up raising her alone, and that's understandable to develop sort of hatred towards women because of what had happened to her and because of all of that stuff. But was it achieved? It wasn't. It just came across as just hatred from the author. The sense of humor is the worst sense of humor that I've ever freaking read. It's not funny. It's just not funny. That is all. It's just bullying. It's just hatred, and it is not funny. It was so freaking cringe. Oh my lord. She hates on everything, makes fun of everything. She is in prison. She is in prison, and she has a cellmate who dots her eyes with hearts, which is cute. And she's just like, she also dots her eyes with hearts. Okay. And what am I supposed to think? Like, it feels like the author expected the reader to be like this. And she dots her eyes with hearts. Ew! Who the fuck does that? I would try. Ew! Totally, I relate. And it's not like that. What is wrong with dotting your eyes with hearts? What is wrong with having a tan or lip fillers or enhancements or plastics? What is wrong? Like, how is that affecting? I don't like her at all. I don't want to even mention her name. The main character's name is Grace. My best friend's daughter's name is Grace, and that child can have my soul. I love her so much, and I feel like this is an injustice to the name Grace. So I'm not gonna mention her name again. The table was made up of 7 women. And Gavin, the sweetly camp digital guy who wore cardigans more than he should. And that is being kind, because the correct amount is never. Okay? I suppose, okay. This is one of those moments like the reader is supposed to read this and be like, I know, right? Cardigans are disgusting. How can you ever wear a fucking cardigan? Like, how can a grown 30-year-old man wear a cardigan? This is disgusting. I relate to this. It's not like that. For me, at least, this is just hatred and bullying, and I hated it. And it gets progressively worse. The first few chapters were okay, interesting enough. By the middle of the book, I was thinking of DNF in it. The bullying gets progressively worse. The comments, the misogyny gets progressively worse. The other guy has a sizable belly on him and back hair, which I refuse to accept is attractive to anyone in the modern age. It is. I find it attractive. Fuck you. That's that. It gets worse. The worst thing about him, again, listen real good. The worst thing about him, okay? The worst thing about him was his bottom, which had a pretty serious case of acne. Fuck This isn't okay. Someone can read this and have struggled with acne. Acne is goddamn a lot, my man. I've been on Accutane for a decade. My skin looks like the Grand Canyon, my man, without Accutane. It was so freaking bad. I cried every goddamn day looking at myself. I wouldn't freaking go outside because of how bad my skin was. I had it on my chest, I had it on my back. I hated dating, I hated going out, I hated every goddamn thing about my life. And writing that and expecting it to relate to people is shitty. I do not like it. And I cannot see this just as a character because the author did not achieve that. They did not achieve that. Okay, this is the character, and it reads as if the author wants us to relate to this character, and I do not. I fucking hate her, and I hate the writing, and I hate how hateful she is. Fuck you, and fuck everyone who says stuff like this about something we cannot fucking control. Someone who struggles severely with acne, who is extremely self-conscious and insecure with acne to the point of crying every goddamn time they look in a mirror, would read that shit and hate themselves. The worst thing about him, he has a sizable belly on him. Fuck you, I like chubby men. I like chubby men. I like chubby, hairy, acne fucking faced men. That's what I like. He had a sizable belly on him, which isn't even the worst thing about him. The worst thing about him was his acne. Fuck you. I hate this. I mean, I'm sorry, am I the only one that doesn't find this funny? The summary of the book, when you go on Goodreads and look up the summary, it says something like insanely funny. It's not. Too many women think they look cute in bobble hats. They do not. Nobody wearing a bobble hat conveys anything but a desperate wish to look cute. This is so not fucking funny. This is so not funny. What the hell? Is there something wrong? Because if it's just me, please tell me and I'll work on myself. But it is not funny. Literally everyone looks cute in bobble hats. Everyone looks cute in bobble hats. Here is a black man in a bobble hat. Cute. Here is a black old lady in a bobble hat. Here's a cat in a bobble hat. Here's an alligator in a bobble hat. Cute. Everyone looks cute in a fucking bubble hat. Your attempt to make a fucking joke did not land, nor will it land when the joke is just you bullying people. Or perhaps the couple in cheap masquerade masks who both could have put in a few more hours at the gym before wearing such unforgiving latex. She doesn't like fat people, she doesn't like chubby people. She is like in a sex party, right? And a BDSM sex party, right? Just let people be. Just let them fuck. You'll just let them have fun. Let them explore themselves. Like, why the frick was that comment necessary? She is such a hateable, unenjoyable character. I do not like her at all. Why would you even add that? And you're supposed to read this and be like, haha, funny. They're chubby and latex. Okay. Alright, cool. I wondered whether a stranger would pick me out as different, whether my demeanor or posture would speak of a life so different to that of other women in here. Bitch, you are in fucking prison. You are in prison. You are in prison now. You are in a prison. You are in prison, my lady. When you take all the trauma, my mom had to raise me on her own. And this is not me invalidating that trauma, of course not. But when you take all the goddamn traumas in the world, my mom had to raise me alone because my dad walked out on us is literally the most cliche fucking story, and it does not make you different. Again, I see here what the author wanted to create. It was not achieved. Okay, she has a best friend, right? They were raised together, they grew up together, blah, blah, blah. And he got himself a girlfriend or a series of girlfriends. The way she freaking talks about them and him, she's that person that thinks like she needs to share him with you and stuff. She's that person. This is what she thinks about when her best friend of the entire world breaks up with someone that he didn't really like that much, so it doesn't hurt him as bad. She goes, I won't have to waste my precious time consoling him. Okay. cool. She just has a way of speaking, just a cadence to her that makes her insufferable. And this was after her friend got a girlfriend that he actually likes a lot. She's also, need to mention, younger and prettier, and Grace mentioned that because of course she would mention that. The thing is, Jimmy has probably always been in love with me. Oh, he's never said it. He's probably not even aware of it. She is insufferable. It's like hearing about other people's children, or worse, hearing about other people's tiresome mental health problems. That's her. She is selfish, she's very self-centered, she's very central, and she claims to hate self-centered people. And again, I see what the author wanted to achieve here. Was it achieved? No, it was not. Instead of creating this trauma-infused person that is very mentally like challenged, that is very mentally like she needs to heal and shit, she just done created, or they, I'm sorry, they just, the author, they just done created a fucking annoying ass character. No one wants to hear about people's tiresome mental health problem, she says, while literally writing a book about her childhood trauma and murder plans. And it's like no one is worth being listened to except her. No one is worth time except her. No one is worth this and that except her. And how dare life treat her so badly, bitch? I don't know what you want me to do for you. Like, this is just my reaction reading the book. I don't know. Just move on. I don't know. I listen to music while I read. I love classical music. I love listening to classical music. I was so close to DNFing. I listened to all the hits. Nothing goddamn helped. Chopin's Nocturne, number 20 in C sharp minor. One of my favorite pieces. Did it help? No. David Ross's Luna. No. Even my all-time favorite piece ever. It's called A Heart Made of Yarn by Franz Gordon. I highly recommend it. It's an amazingly beautiful created piece. It did not help at all. Nothing could get me through the goddamn book. She's 24, by the way. No goddamn way in hell she's 24. She does not feel 24 at all. This is coming from experience because I'm in my early 20s. But she does not feel like she's 24 at all. She feels 58. She met a teenager and she's talking to him, right? And it's the most stereotypical fucking teenager stuff ever. Like, he literally immediately like sends her a dick pic, and like the way he speaks. She says, teenagers are extraordinarily self-absorbed. Ma'am? Hated it to the point by the end there was a valid and should have been surprising plot twist. I did not care at all about it. I reached the plot twist and I was like, okay, cool, just end. Writing is decent, especially at the start, but gets progressively worse. But character-wise, it gets progressively and fathomably annoying. Timeline is fucked up, by the way. It goes back and forth, her in prison, and then her planning a murder, and then her before the murder, and then her during the murder, and then her in... It's a little bit confusing for a neurodivergent brain. It just confused me a little bit. The way, at least, the story is laid out makes the reading experience strained. It strains your brain. I can see what the author wanted to achieve, not just with the story, the writing, the book, the plot, the itself, but with the character. Especially, after I just read The Gone Girl, the MC was Amy Elliott. I see that she was trying to achieve an Amy Elliott type of character where you're supposed to hate them, but you like them. They're so fucked up, and the way they speak and comment on other people. Amy said, called her neighbor stupid so many times, but it is actually, it feels like this is that type of character. I don't know if this makes sense. This does not feel like that at all. It's supposed to be like a Lana Myers, Amy Elliott type of stuff. It was not like that at all. I rated this one 1 star for the first few chapters because they were enjoyable enough. Other than that, it was shit, and I hated it. I'm very, very disappointed. But that is all. That's the book. If you've read it, please let me know what you think about it. If you liked it, please let me know what you think about it. And if you hated it, let's hate on it together. That's it. I love you, and I'm gonna see you next video.